Well, hello and welcome along to Macedonia Park for this final round clash in the National Premier League's Men's New South Wales competition as Wollongong Wolves welcome Manly United. Now, the hosts today, they have one simple task, and that is to win, and then hope St George City can do a job further north against Sydney United 58 with a win, which would see the Wolves sneak into 6th and into finals football. For Manly United, their win over Sydney United last weekend takes the pressure off the result today, having earned their place in the New South Wales top flight for another season. My name's Tim Gibson. I'm usually the one writing this up, but today you're going to hear from me live. Now, let's get to the teams as they shake hands. So starting with the visitors, and number 1, Levi Kay, is the goalkeeper. Kieran Paul will captain the side. As number 3 is Zach Svilagoy. 4, Jesse Pires. 8, Joseph Fox. 11, Connor Rose. 18, Presley Ortiz. 19, Alan Aganovich. 20, Farakoko. 39, Stefano Rossello. 45, Bilal Belkadi, former Wollongong Wolf, rounds out the starting 11 for them. And now the starting 11 for the Wollongong Wolves. Number 20, veteran Jan Jedovic starts in goal. Number 2, Harrison Busnell. Number 4, Dylan Ryan. Number 5, Banri Kanaizumi. 6 is Samuel Riak. 7, Takumi Afuka. Number 8 is Andre Takami. 9, Jake True. 11, Sebastian Hernandez. 24, Lachlan Scott. And number 88, Chris McStay. The referee today is Eric Saba, and he'll be assisted by Joshua Isa and Aisha Strutt on either line. Matt Staples is the 4th official. Manly United will kick us off, playing in their blue strip. The Wolves are in the red. And we're underway here. It looks like Manly are going to play an early direct ball up here towards Farakoko. Headed away by Andre Takami for an early throw-in. A lot riding on this game for the Wolves. They had a chance last weekend to perhaps put a bit more pressure on Sydney United if they were able to win. But realistically, their task would be the same today, even if they had won that game, which is to still win here. Knocked back there by Fox towards Levi Kay. Now, Macedonia Park. It's the home of Wollongong United, which is a local team down here in the Illawarra Premier League. It's also where the Illawarra Stingrays play a lot of their football, or have at least this season. As we see the ball taken over towards the Wolves' left, Dylan Ryan heads away. Bit of head tennis going on as Belkadi shifts the ball up there. Not quite dealt with yet by the Wolves. A good header away, though, by Kanaizumi. And here comes Scott with a bit of space, able to spread it wide. Chris McStay will find Hernandez here, potentially, on the right, as he drifts inside. Here's Riak, a very much bandaged up Sam Riak with his right knee, which he was also wearing against Spirit last weekend. And there's been a couple of injury problems at the Wolves in recent weeks. Dylan Ryan does return at left back after missing that Spirit game. But Darcy Madden's back on the bench, and he limped off playing left back against Spirit. So a bit of a swap there. Early ball now. Fox. Pushed wide left here. Ortiz is tackled. Aganovich. With K-Wolves, happy to let Manly, at least in that initial phase, play out. And Ryan with a good ball to find Riak in some space. Scott's dropped in deep and has another huge pocket. Jake True on the shoulder, but it looks like it'll go wide here to Hernandez at some point. Scott will keep running. Gives it away, asking for Hernandez to be a bit more direct, running behind. Valcardi now through the middle. Afuka seems to manage to keep that in, and pass is intercepted, but McStay will pick it up. And it's an early free kick here for the Wolves in a decent position. They were quite prolific from set pieces earlier on in the year, but that has seemed to have dried up in recent weeks. But McStay's delivery is still a quality option to have. A high line from Manly here, all across that 18-yard. And it was just clipped in towards that near post area, but wasn't really anybody getting on the end of that for the Wolves. Hoisted back up. Belcardi with a header. True will challenge, and Riak's managed to win this. Here comes Afuka, the Wolves' top scorer this year with 12. Here's Hernandez, one of the real bright sparks for the Wolves this year, with his willingness to take players on. As he tried to there. Seems to have taken a bit of a hit with that one. Now, back on Macedonia Park, the home of Wollongong United, it is also the home, at least football-wise, for a number of former Wolves players. Evan Ball, Nav Darjani, Van Elia, Jaden Mikowski, Jordan Nikolovsky, Josh Galevsky is there now as well, a 20s player last year with the Wolves. And I'm sure there's a few others as well. So it really is a bit of a production line for Wollongong United, the Wolves, it seems. Here's Afuka on the left. A bit of possession now for the Wolves higher up the field. They could do with an early goal here, the Wolves, especially after that goalless draw at Spirit. They had a lot of the ball, a lot of the territory, but didn't really create a great deal of chances in that. Bit of a knock there for Joe Fox, but not given. And True can escape down the left side. Was he pushed? No, it'll be a throw in here. Now for Manly, it's an interesting game for them really, as they've won it quite high up here. There's a chance for Rose in behind. Busnell deals with that though. Rossello will pick it up. Fox. Left-footed ball in. Janjetovic will jump and claim. Hernandez with space on the right here. If Takami can find him. Pira's leaving a bit of a gap there, but it's played into Scott. He just about holds onto it. That's well done. And then Hernandez will pick it up. One-on-one with Pires. Goes round him. Not given. He wanted a foul there. Aganovic will come away with it. Yeah, on Manly United, that win at Sydney United last weekend did a great deal of good for them. It prevented this game, anything really riding on it. they'll be well clear of that relegation zone come 30 rounds when they're completed. True here escaping, but offside. Now, they won't be able to finish any higher than they did last season. They finished 8th last year and they had 42 points. I think just a point behind what the Wolves achieved. So they have taken a few steps back this year, but they've certainly been competitive this year. In that win against Sydney United, they really utilised their set pieces and they worked quite hard on that, and you could see it. And I think for the Wolves, that's perhaps been a weakness for them at times. I remember a late goal at Apia at Wynn Stadium that came from a set piece. A couple of other things as well, where set pieces have cost them late on. So that's a potential way for Manly to break the game open. But the win at United 58, that ended a 4-game losing run for them in this competition. The Wolves continuing with this possession further up the field, or at least comfortably in their half, and that's a poor giveaway from Kenai Zumi. Can Manly break quickly? There's a bit of space out there. Rose couldn't pick the pass. Here's True. Out wide for Sebastian Hernandez. Does well to get past Perez and whipping across. It's a low one. Riak will pick it up to Kami. Zumi racing a bit further forward. Afuka and Scott not quite on the same wavelength, and some more space here for Rose. Another misplaced pass though. It's been a bit like that early on here. Neither side able to conjure up any real chances of note. Bump from Scott, but not given, and there's a lot of space here for Manly to switch the ball. Rosello looks to slip in Ortiz, not quite. Kenai Zumi there to intercept. Here's one of these set pieces that was so useful for United last weekend. Here's Fox with the ball in. It was flicked on, and it'll be another corner. Rose looks to flick that around the near post, comes to Fox. Kenai Zumi up rather than out. Janovic just flicks it over. But they'll keep the possession here, Manly, with Ortiz and now Belcardi. Good ball for Ortiz. Hoisted up towards that back post. Afuka will pick it up now. It's a ball for Jake True to chase. Some pressure for Svilagoy back there. Switched out to Farakoko here, who's offside. Oh, and that would have been a good, quick play there for the Wolves with Hernandez. A bit of space on the right. Referee's still not happy with the position of this free kick. And that's a flick on. Lachlan Scott looked like he may have been offside and is flagged. Through the middle here, and Farakoko might get onto this. Takami does well to head. And Hernandez skips away from a challenge. Here he goes. Aganovic across. Here's McStay. Riak. Oh, a bit of an awkward one for Kane. He looks like he's run that over. That should be a corner, and it is. Interesting for Manly United today. They've left a few of their bigger names on the bench. Peter Caceres, who's been a real scoring threat, scored the winner, in fact, against the Wolves, is on the bench. Miguel Bowser, a penalty last week that he scored, sits on the bench. Rocco Pella, another, who has a seat on the bench. So there's plenty there for them. See this McStay delivery, headed away by Pires. Busnell will pick it up. Belcardi looking to try and steal the ball off him. Busnell does well to hold it. Hernandez here can run into the box. This is where you want Sebastian Hernandez. Rose heads it away. Busnell will keep possession again. Afuka. The Wolves probing, but struggling to make an imprint so far, and that's a giveaway, a throw-in for Manly. Of course, all concurrent games in this final round of NPL Men's New South Wales action. At St George, Sydney United game still sitting at 0-0 at the moment. A bit of an odd one for St George. They can't go up, they can't go down, but they're on a fine winning run at the moment, 5 in a row. So you probably wouldn't want to lose that momentum heading into the final series, and the Wolves are looking to gain a bit of momentum. But here is Pires down the left, a bit more space again. Farakoko, will he get here? Not quite, a bit overhit as Vedran Janjetovic picks up the ball. Of course, came back to football after a rather long injury layoff following the conclusion of his professional career. Came back to the Wolves to play under David Carney and has had a solid year, really. Of course, replaced Thomas Butkovic, who managed to displace Nenad Vekic in the team last year, the 19-year-old Butkovic, and was David Carney's goalkeeper, really, for the whole season in 2023. Diagonal trying to catch out Dylan Ryan. Not quite. Here's Afuka. Under pressure. We'll use Janjetovic. Ryan, that's a good header. Can Scott get on the end of it? Rose now. Looks to have taken a knock to his head in that challenge with Dylan Ryan. it was interesting. I was speaking to Manly coach Patrick Svensvik after that Western Sydney Wanderers win in July. Connor Rose scored the winner in that one, and I asked him about Connor's performance and, of course, his goal, and he was really urging, as we come back to this, because Hernandez has skipped down the right-hand side. Couldn't get it right. Aganovich with another important block. He's been good early on here. Coco will take the ball forwards. Not a number of immediate options on. Busnell cuts that out. Riak. Gives it back to Kanaizumi. As the ball comes back out to Connor Rose's side, and Svensvik was very insistent that his team needed to be better in the finishing department this year. I mean, the low goal scoring has been a trademark of the Manly team this year, but he reckons the chances are there. But Jake True into the left of the box. Takes it a bit wider and has muddled his way through there and gets a foul. Another good set piece there. Connor Rose with the foul. And it'll be McStay who wanders over to the ball again. Kanaizumi, Busnell forward. Can McStay get this delivery right and get the Wolves needed lead? Clipped in delicately. Kay doesn't quite deal with it. Busnell gets a shot. Kay scrambles it away. Harrison Busnell, just the one goal this year from centre-back. His partner, Banri Kanaizumi, in defence, has had a good scoring year. 5 goals, although they all came before round 14. He hasn't scored since. But if McStay can continue to get balls into the right area, he could have another out towards the back. Well headed away by Alan Aganovich. Here's Riak. Gets past Rosello. Also manages to get a bit of space to whip the ball in. Well defended, though, by Rosello. Another set piece, McStay. Set to go over. Chris McStay. 7 yellow cards for McStay this year. One of the highest in the competition. Competition leader has 9. So he could match it with 2 more yellows today. And Froy won't be counting on it, though, as we see a corner come out to the back here for Afuka. That's a good ball. Well caught by Kay, offside anyway. But the advantage will stay with them, and that's a sensational throw over halfway. Farakoko manages to get past Hernandez. Can he slip in Ortiz? Yes, he can. Presley Ortiz. Well, he's rolled one past veteran Janjetovic, and Manly lead. Well, it's a bit of a disaster, really, for the Wolves. Conceding a goal like that. But for Manly, it's a good transitional goal from that set piece. Nicely done, really, all the way from Levi Kay with that huge throw to get Farakoko on his way. And it was a good ball slipped in for Ortiz. And perhaps Janjetovic would have liked to have done a little bit better with that one as it rolled just past his leg. Now the Wolves have a lot to do here. They want any chance of getting finals football. Now the Wolves haven't made the finals since 2019, back when Luke Wilkshire was in charge. Thomas James, of course, came to the competition. 22 goals that year. But then in the final series, they went out in straight sets. Losses to Apia and Sydney United took them out here, but at the moment it's not looking promising. Here's Ortiz, who might get to it first, but Busnell will play it off. Here's Scott on the right. Janovic can't quite find Coco. Takami. Riak nearly squirmed under him, but he'll keep it. That looks to be on the line, but not out. Here's Aganovic. Blasted into Riak. Here's Sam Riak into the box. Plays it for Afuka. Scott. Big looping deflection. Rossello. And Ortiz has found a pocket of space here in behind for Takami. And that right-hand side for the Wolves, Manly are taking advantage of it. That's where the goal came from. That's where a couple of chances have as well. Rossello. Riak. Run the full length of the field in the last 10 seconds. Hernandez is tackled. Here's Pires. Rossello will have a shot. No danger to Janjetovic. But it's been a tough run really for the Wolves over the last few seasons. Of course, in that 2020 season, the first shortened season, only an 11-round competition. They came second. 2021 they were 6th. But again, I don't think that one was quite finished either. 2022 9th in the competition and 7th in 2023. So they've been away from those top places for the last few seasons. Dylan Ryan to find Scott. Levi Kao, an important save really even before that throw to set up the goal. He's been good, as has Aganovic. Connor Rose looks to bend one in behind for Ortiz, but it'll run away from him. Not a great deal of attacking options on the bench for the Wolves. Mashivecchio's there. He's been really behind Sebastian Hernandez in the pecking order at the Wolves, given Hernandez's performances on that right-hand side. Darcy Madden's also on the bench, potentially being affected by that knock, seeing him drop out of the starting 11. Because he was very good against Spirit, playing at left back while Ryan was out. And you'd think potentially, as a right footer, he could have played at right back today. And this is a good win for True. And that looked very cynical from Bilal Belkadi. He's lucky really to escape a booking in that situation, because Jake True was away there in a bit of space. I think perhaps the congestion in the Manly half has gotten him away without a caution there. The Wolves will get us back underway. Throw in. Well, I mentioned earlier that Patrick Zvansvijk was calling for his team to be more clinical, and David Carney said something similar over the course of this season, but also when he spoke to the Illawarra Mercury earlier in the week, saying that he thinks the team have been dominating their games, at least creating chances, but they're lacking that cutting edge to take those. But here's Ortiz with a neat turn. Nothing on though for Manly. McStay will come away with it. Here's Takami. Deeper ball might come out to McStay. It'll be a throw-in. Ball coming from Andre Takami, former Wollongong Wolves player. He's been a bit of a Wollongong Olympic player, rather. He's been a bit of a utility man for the Wolves. He's played in midfield, at fullback as well. Helped turn the game around against Sydney United at Albert Butler earlier in the year, playing in midfield next to McStay. And now we'll play it right back. Here's Busnell. Once again, the Wolves aren't really pressing Manly with any sort of intensity in this first phase. More than comfortable letting them have the ball. But it does seem to be, once it gets into that middle third of the pitch, they will press them. But Connor Rowe's ability to turn. Rossello. More space here for Farakoko. Well blocked by Takami. Manages to get around. Here's Coco with the ball in. No one in that area. Here comes Kanaizumi with a longer ball forward. Still 0-0 between Sydney United and St George City after 25 minutes. The Wolves really need St George to pick up a goal in that one and take the lead, because draw's not going to be enough today. The Wolves need to win, and they need Sydney United to lose, because the Wolves have a far superior goal difference to what Sydney United have accumulated. You'd think the urgency from the Wolves would have to increase as it gets further along in this game, because they need now 2 goals. When these sides met earlier in the year, it was 2-1 to Manly. A late Peter Kikera's penalty won it. Stefano Rossello scored a really nice goal into the roof of the net to open the scoring. Lachlan Scott, soon after half-time, wriggled his way through. And then that late Kikera's penalty. A bit of drama as well in stoppage time. Dylan Ryan was sent off for 2 yellow cards. Caution for the penalty that he conceded, and then sent off for a challenge a bit later on for a 2nd yellow card. Oh, and that's a giveaway here. Here's Dylan Ryan. Couldn't quite find that cut back. There were a few there. Afuka, Riak, and Anders a bit further back. Rocco Pelle was sent off even later in that game up at Cromer when these two faced. I think it might have been something related to kicking the ball away, perhaps. Usnell back across. Belcardi miscontrols, but he'll be able to head it away. Riaks smashes into the back of him, but he keeps going. Hernandez will have it now. And Rossello seems to have just bundled Hernandez over there, but it was a good transitional moment again for Manly. Here's Dylan Ryan. Trying to find Scott. Back out for Dylan Ryan. First time ball. Belcardi well positioned. Oh, it's a giveaway. McStay. Rose has pushed it forwards. Rossello will look to go over the top. Someone needs to deal with this. It's Takami to boot it away. Dylan Ryan, that's a good pass. Takumi Afuka will be able to get forwards now. Here's Scott. Hernandez in a bit of space, but he's found Jake True centrally. True. Here's Takumi Afuka on the left. One-on-one with Filagoy. It's a good ball back for Chris McStay. It's a first-time shot that he rolls past the left post. And that's really the Wolves' first major chance of this game. Came with some good interplay that started with Dylan Ryan keeping the ball in. Currently 12 points between these teams on the ladder before today. Just one between them last year, as I mentioned earlier on, so you'd say they're still pretty similarly matched teams, if not Manly's results this year have dropped off from where they were. Ball looks like it's going to spin and stay in play. McStay with a neat back heel. Scott found a Fuka, and looks like Connor Rose is struggling here. Well, as I mentioned earlier, there's still plenty of options for Manly on the bench. If they want to find a new attacker, if Rose is unable to continue here. Gonna have a bit of a break here, it seems. The water coming out. Back underway. Giving away. Busnell back to Janjetovic. Lachlan Scott has picked it up. A good ball from Ryan. Hernandez and Belcardi challenging for it. Scott can hold it up and find McStay. Not a great pass for Riak. And they're out. Farakoko. Busnell will hoist it back into there. Jake True can bring it down. Hernandez. Might shape to hit this, or at least get a cross in. Here's McStay. Does look like we are going to see a substitution here for Manly. So Connor Rose will be unable to continue. And Zayn Alawalia will replace him on the right. As we edge towards half-time in this one, we've just heard the announcement for the Wolf Chase, which will take place at yet another venue here in the Illawarra. As Aganovic takes the ball forward, been one of Manly's best players this season. Not just defensively, but he's picked up a few goals as well. But it's a giveaway out of the back for Manly. Afuka, nothing really on, and just going back to Aganovic, scored last weekend against United 58, got them up and running. Zafuka, oh, it's short again from McStay. Farakoko will chase this and get to it. Utilising that space again here on the left. That's a good ball as well to pick out Joe Fox. To clip it back to Farakoko, but Janjetovic will pick it up. Takami looks back. Janjetovic not happy with that he didn't choose to play the ball forward early. Here's Afuka. Shifts the ball inside. Has a shot well over. It's been a frustrating half for the Wolves. Especially being 1-0 down. They need 2 goals. And so far, hasn't looked like they're going to pick up any. .35 minutes gone. Sydney United, St George City still level. Ken Izumi heads it away, but it's not too far away. And Rossello, and there's a huge amount of space here. Dylan Ryan heads just before. It's an important intervention because 2 goals for the Wolves, that could be a real problem, but it's a giveaway again. And Bilal Belkardi's gone through the back of him. You'd think he'd be very close to a caution here. And that yellow card does come for Belkardi. Perhaps lucky he got away this long without it. But that one, a promising attack for the Wolves, broken down, even though True didn't really get the pass away that he wanted. Here's Afuka. Nice feet to buy himself a bit of space. Here's Riak. Out wide for Andre Takami. It's another giveaway from the Wolves in midfield. It's been a consistent theme of this game from McStay and Riak. They formed that partnership in the middle of the ground for the Wolves, but not found their rhythm in this one. Here's Pires. Coco. Nice feet there. And Manly will keep the ball moving. Spilagoy will look forwards. Can't find Alawalia out there on that right-hand side. Kieran Paul will take this throw in now for Manly. Ortiz drops short. It's been one. Joe Fox will want to keep this ball moving. Rossello, that's bouncing up nicely. And it's a crucial block from Kenai Zumi. Looked like that clipped the crossbar. The deflection. But it's another Wolves set piece for them to defend. Crucial minutes now ahead of half-time. Can Janjetovic find a quick release? Looks towards Scott. Volleyed away by Kieran Paul. Ryan will have a throw in here. There's a Fuka. Looks to clip it forward for Scott. Wolves will have a throw in here on halfway. Takami to Hernandez. Can he test him again? It's a good ball for Jake True, who's found the net. Jake True gives Wollongong Wolves a lifeline with his 7th of the year. It's perhaps a bit of an unorthodox finish, but bamboozled Kay a little bit. And they're level before half time here. Jake True coming back from a series of knee injuries a couple of years ago where he missed 2 years out of the game. Originally joined Blacktown City and then came and played the second half of, I think it was the 2022 season with Wollongong Olympic, built his fitness and earned himself a shot at the Wollongong Wolves. Ooh, and it's a giveaway from Belcardi. True. Lachlan Scott almost flicks it past Villagoy there. As I was saying with Jake True, last year 10 goals in the NPL Men's New South Wales for him, and he's on 7 for this year. That's not given. Riak. Rossello finds Fox. Important block again from Busnell. Here's Kieran Paul. Looks to clip one. Busnell on the header. McStay will take it away. Clever touch. It's a bit high, but Hernandez might bring that down. Couldn't quite. Hernandez bursts through the middle. It's Villagoy. And here's the left-hand side. Can Varakoko keep it in? Not quite. Another goal for the Wolves would be huge ahead of half-time. They're not going to get it. That's it. Level. The teams are heading into half-time. Manly took an early lead through Presley Ortiz, and then Jake True equalised just before half-time. A big second half coming up. We'll see what happens in the next 45. Well, we're back underway for the second half here at Macedonia Park. 1-1 between the Wolves and Manly. The Wolves needing a win to have any hope of finals football. A couple of changes for Manly at half time. Benjamin Coop is on, as is Miguel Bowser, who scored the penalty to secure the win against Sydney United, that 2-0 result last weekend, as he continues to build back into the team. I say continues, it is the last game of the year, but his second game back after his suspension. It's an early free kick for Manly. In the second half, the Wolves really need to avoid conceding this one. Flat delivery that doesn't find anyone. A hooked ball out here towards Coop. Will keep it in. 1-on-1 with Dylan Ryan. Alawalia with a ball in. A wild volley there from Perez, no danger. Still 0-0 at half time between St George and Sydney United. The Wolves needing a goal for St George there. If they want to keep Sydney United on the points they are and then get 3 of their own. That's the equation, but at the moment it's not looking like that's going to happen. Still a full half of football to play. Alawalia, bit of space. Here is such a short ball. Hernandez. Well, he was close to intercepting that. Coop playing off the right-hand side. Nice work from Bowser, just a step away from Sam Riak, and it's opening up for him. Past another tackle. Oh, and it's going to fall here to... Who wants to take it? Scott's missed. Fox, rather, has missed, and it's rolled past Presley Ortiz. So it was just no one really there at the back post for the Wolves. Ryan was out of position. Takami's tackle spun over to the right. It was Fox and Coop both queuing up as to who wanted to have the shot. Fox took it, air swung, and then the ball eventually ended up rebounding to Ortiz, who dragged one past the left post. Comes Takami in an advanced position. Now, looking at the team at half-time, originally Yagub Mustafa was set to start at right back, but he ended up dropping out of the squad altogether. So that's why Takami has taken it up. Madden on the bench can play right back, presumably a fitness issue after his injury in the Spirit game towards the end. Here's Dylan Ryan. Tries to skip past Coop and does so just about. Well into the box and couldn't pick out a Fuka. Alawalia will raid forward. The Wolves trying to play with a bit more intensity. Kieran Paul's found a bit of space. Can Bowser find him? Coop, not tracked by Afuka. Usnell gets a foot in. Here's Kieran Paul. It's Filagoy. Ball wouldn't sit for him, but he's done just about enough, and that's a nice piece of skill. Kieran Paul's delivery, though, well over the bar. McStay pokes it through to Dylan Ryan. And he'll get it back. Jake True making a darting run into the box. Afuka with a pocket of space on the edge of the box. Slipped it in! Oh, Jake True! And Lachlan Scott blazes it over. Looks down at the pitch. A massive double chance for the Wolves. Good work from McStay originally. And Afuka just popped up on the edge of the box. Thinking he was going to take a shot there, but slipped in True. An important stop from Levi Kay. And then the follow-up, Lachlan Scott blazed it over. In fairness to him, there are a few dirt patches over in that goal box, but it was a good way over the bar. McStay. Been a battling performance so far in this second half from him. True wins it. This way. Here's Riak back to Hernandez. Busnell. Is playing in that deeper role now, but here is Ryan on the left. Big challenge with Paul, and he'll get it back. Afuka finds Riak, former Perth Glory Academy player, came across from Western Australia when Carney joined on as the coach of the Wolves and has been a mainstay in that team. Takami shifts the ball inside and it's overhit for Jake True. The other thing that was interesting that Patrick Svansvik said to me when I spoke to him after that Wanderers game around 5 or 6 rounds ago was that he believed his team could, or were at least still a chance to make finals, or that was the ambition, was to get to finals football. And you almost think to a degree, why not? They've picked up a number of impressive results against the top teams in this competition as Lachlan Scott brings it forward, sends Sebastian Hernandez wide, but this is what he likes to do, one-on-one with Pires. Hernandez clips it in. Did that go out? But on Manly and their performances this year, they have beaten some of the best teams in this competition. Of course, they beat Apia. They've drawn with Rockdale as well. Blackdown, of course, beat the Wolves, who are fighting in and around that finals battle. But the problem's been the bits in between that. After that Wanderers game, they went on to lose 4 in a row. They lost to Marconi, Sutherland, Spirit, St George, and then they went and beat Sydney United, who are on the cusp of finals. So there'll be an interesting watch next year as to whether they can build towards those finals places, as Ken Izumi put under pressure by Ortiz. Janjetovic sends it long. Stay plays it on for Dylan Ryan. It's a foul from Dylan Ryan on Coop. The other thing is in spite of their goal scoring troubles this year, Manly have been pretty good at the back. Only conceded one more goal than Apia Leichhardt have this year. Or at least now 2 more, depending on that result with Apia today. So if they can find those goal scorers, Presley Ortiz, of course, signed from St George City. That was his 2nd goal for the club since joining on in mid-July. As Farakoko will keep this in. Can he get his delivery right? To go past Takami, can't quite do it. Riak could end up being a corner there. It's a goal kick. Manly chasing their 4th away win of the season as Fox comes through the middle. Coop. Can he find Coco at the back post? Dylan Ryan deflects it round for a corner. Looks like we will see Peter Kikeres to come on. Won the game for Manly back at Cromer Park. We edge towards the hour mark here at Macedonia Park. Janjetovic gets a palm. Ortiz. Oh, it's all chaos in there. And it looks like Takumi Afuka has been hit. And Sebastian Hernandez is down for the Wolves. That's not a good sign. He did take a hit earlier in the first half. Substitution. Farakoko is going to be withdrawn for Peter Kikeres on the left. And Sebastian Hernandez looks to be being replaced as well now. He had troubles in the first half, and Alex Mashivecchio set to come on and play on the right wing. Yet to score this year, Mashivecchio. Be a good time to find the net now. Hamstring problem earlier on in the year, Sebastian Hernandez. And for a player who is as explosive as he is, it can be quite hampering. He's applauded off the field here. Of course, been looked at by A-League clubs and has certainly been the shining light for the Wolves this year with his 8 goals and the pace that he's shown. A real asset the Wolves this year. Mashivecchio getting his first touch. McStay moves it on. Ken Izumi. Here's Dylan Ryan. Gives something for Afuka to chase, and he's flicked it up into Coop, and well, it looked like a corner, but the referee's given a goal kick. Miguel Bowser storms through. Riak might have to bring him down here. Here's Kieran Paul down the right. Izumi with the header away. Afuka still pleading his case for that corner. Fox finds Paul. He keeps going. Toe on it from Ken Izumi. Lachlan Scott. McStay, a transition moment for the Wolves. Afuka is inside. McStay tries to find Jake True. Peter Kikaras with his first real moment. Goal kick to the Wolves. Still 0-0 in the 55th minute of that Sydney United St George City clash. So there's hope for the Wolves yet. Here's Busnell. Wants to slip Masciavecchio into that inside channel. Oh, it's a good header from Masciavecchio. Jake True won't give that up. Interesting to see Masciavecchio and Afuka as well drifting inside rather than out as a direct ball through for Coop, and that was almost a bad moment but dealt with, and a rather necessary foul from McStay. Here's Coop. Up and away from Ken Izumi. Afuka does the same. Juganovic. Gives something again for Coop to chase. Ryan trips over him. Important defending from Ryan. Zane Alawalia seems to have dropped into more of a number 6 position. Of course, came on for a winger in Connor Rose in the first half for Manly. Now he's being tasked with dictating play. As Bowser in swinging delivery. McStay away at the near post. Kikaras will pick it up. Miguel Bowser. Svilagoy under pressure. Plays it back out for Kikaras. Skips past Takami well, and it looks like that's a foul for the grab from Takami. Another set piece for Manly. Bowser, similar angle to a corner. A low delivery, but again McStay meets it at the near post. Bowser will let the ball go out. Ortiz bounces it from back to Bowser, who lets it run away. another substitution being readied for the Wolves. Damon Gray could be coming on. But here's Kenizumi in a bit of space. Scott can turn out and find Machiavecchio, but it's just overhit. And it'll be interesting to see who this is for. Jake True, of course, has scored. And will be taken off. Well, he's made an important contribution. His 7th of the year. And now Damon Gray will replace him. Now Damon Gray has been turned to off the bench quite a lot for David Carney. He's a big admirer of the young attacker. He's yet to score in the NPL Men's New South Wales first grade competition this season. Grabbed some cup goals though. And similarly to Machiavecchio, an important time to make a contribution. Ganovich. More headers. And Fox gets the ball down on the ground. Pushed wide here, Kieran Paul can't quite get there. Afuka with a direct ball for Lachlan Scott. Here's Chris McStay. Down the left-hand side. It's a good catch from Levi Kay. Here's Fox. Bit more transitional now, the game. Bit more space. The Wolves chasing. Here's Kikeres. 1-on-1 with Takami. Goes inside. And that's a shot that is of no threat to Janjetović's goal. Here's Dylan Ryan. Ball to McStay inside. They get it back, the Wolves. Riak. Kenizumi. Here's Busnell. Riak out to Takami. Gray. Wide for Ryan. You'd say the Wolves may have played all their attacking cards now. Left with mainly defenders on the bench. Ben Geisen, another young player, could potentially make an impact, but other than that, you're looking at Darcy Madden as Gray's flagged offside. Darcy Madden is there, and Dax Kelly as well. So, looks like it may have to be those front plays that they've got on now to find a goal here. Okay, knocks it forward. Kikeres in a race with Takami. Takami wins it. Well, here's Bowser. Almost found Ortiz with a clever ball. Scott through the middle of the pitch. Lachlan Scott. almost helped the pass to find Afuka. That touch from Kieran Paul into Lachlan Scott. Tries a delicate pass to Afuka, but couldn't quite get it off. Here's Ken Izumi. The Wolves building some pressure. Takami. Masciavecchio. Miscommunication, but they keep it. Masciavecchio again with a clever pick-up in that half space. Here's Damon Gray on his left foot. Afuka. Fine Ryan. Puts the ball in. McStay's in plenty of space. Nods the header just past that left post. There's a bit of space there at the back post for that ball from Dylan Ryan. The Wolves, it looked like they may have been destined for finals football. Just a few weeks ago, they had 1 defeat in 10, and it looked like the finals were completely in their hands as they built those results. And then that late heartbreaking loss to Apia at Wynn Stadium. Then they were 2-0 up against Central Coast and ended up losing that game. As Kieran Paul breaks into the box. And Presley Ortiz has nodded in Manly's second. Well, the Wolves may have had a number of chances in this second half, but it's Presley Ortiz who finds his second goal of the game. It was good work from Kieran Paul down the right to put that ball in, and down one end, Chris McStay misses a header. And down the other, Ortiz makes his count. Manly back in front. And the Wolves back needing 2 goals. Here's Afuka. Dylan Ryan. One's McStay. Here's Takami down the right. A quick response is needed. Clipped in. Masciavecchio tries a scorpion effort. Might have been better just leaving that. There were a few numbers. McStay, Damon Gray, Scott, all about. But as I was saying, for the Wolves, there was that good run and then a couple of disappointing losses followed by that spirit draw last week. And it's left them in this situation where now it's looking quite unlikely that they'll be able to pick up finals football. Into the more latter stages of this game now. Less than 20 regular minutes to play at least. Alawali has been good in that number 6 role since he's come on there. But he's going to have to chase back now. Damon Gray finds Chris McStay. Skips past Aganovic's challenge, and that looked like it struck an arm. And it'll be a free kick in a good position for the Wolves. Still 0-0 between Sydney United and St George City. 2/3 of that game played. Takumi Afuka scored a couple of free kicks at the Wolves since he's been here. Can he put one away here? Here's Afuka. Clips the wall. McStay will pick it up. Big tackle. And Coop with slides in. Here's Takami wide. Scott has peeled wide. The centre forward back out to Takami. Masciavecchio. Can he poke it? Just about, but He's found no one, and here comes Coop through the middle. And that was a good ball, but Ortiz was making a run over the other side of Harrison Busnell. Riak. Scott, clever ball for Machiavecchio, and it's great feet. And you'd think it would have been 2-2, but he's been flagged offside. He's been good, Machiavecchio, since he's come on. He's injected something a little bit different into that Wolves attack. Picking up the ball in different areas and some nice feet as well. Okay. Fox wins his header. Takami to McStay, who can try and turn out. It's a good turn and a good ball. Afuka, Ryan overlapping. Scott has a pocket of space here. Well, this was the scoreline that Manly beat the Wolves by earlier in the season, much later, much more dramatic fashion than what we're seeing here. Pires does well to keep it in. Here's Peter Kikeres. Presley Ortiz, can he chase it? Can Izumi will do his best to see that out, which he does. Janjetovic will want to get this started quickly. So grab back from Machiavecchio. Well, it's looking a bit bleak for the Wolves here, and as the weather continues to get gloomier, a fitting environment at the moment. Good win though, Machiavecchio. Here comes Scott. And Peter Kikeres is just insistent on fouling him. And we talk a lot about technical or temporary dismissals that are filtering through our youth competitions. You'd think potentially you could bring them in for stuff like that, where a player has intentionally, deliberately, cynically brought someone down like that, just to impede progress with no attempt for the ball. And you almost feel like, is a yellow card a just enough punishment in those kind of situations? And maybe a temporary dismissal's a nice middle ground. McStay's corner. Needs to be a good one. Can Izumi out the back? Ryan tried to flick on the header. Manly defending with everybody on their set pieces now. And it will be a substitution, a change of goalkeeper. Levi Kay for the last 11 minutes will get to sit on the bench. And Jay Coates will come on as the goalkeeper. Levi Kay, of course, been one of the best shot stoppers in the competition over the last couple of seasons at Manly. And again today, a couple of crucial saves. And Coates will get his first action to take this goal kick. It's a big kick well over halfway. Busenal. Shield that out. Throw in forwards. McStay. Not going to get there first. Izumi launches it forwards. It's getting towards that time for the Wolves. Coop, clever flick on tried, and a bit of space now for Alawalia down the right. Ortiz. Paul will find Alawalia. Scoop ball for Paul, and he's in down the right again. Apparently didn't go out, so Dylan Ryan will have to play on. And Afuka finds McStay. Can't keep it, and Coop will raid away with it down the right. Seen a lot of the ball, has Coop. Linked up well with Kieran Paul. Janjetovic. We'll see if he can find someone. Looks like there has been a bit of a change of shape, but we'll come to that in a second as Coop, blocked by Ryan, Takami, who now looks to have moved into a midfield role. Dylan Ryan, Busenal and Kanizumi make up a back three for these last minutes. Scott skips inside and can't keep it, and then just barges into Svilagoy, and it's a free kick. So 3 at the back now for the Wolves. Takami, Riak, McStay in midfield. Mashiavecchio and Afuka. I'm sure they've been told they're wing backs, but you think they're going to be staying mainly forward, and Gray and Scott are the 2 forwards who will occupy the central roles. Maybe can stretch the pitch a bit more now, the Wolves, with those players pushing wider. Here's McStay, being allowed to advance. Plenty of touches on the ball, but no options for him further forward. Here's Takami. McStay. Gray gets it twisted, but he's sort of got it. And it struck the referee, and that'll be a drop ball to Manly. Svilagoy will take it and launch it towards Peter Kakeras, who should get on the end of this. Might be space in those channels as well for Manly with a change of system. Busenal has to let him past. Gets a good, strong challenge, and he's had a good year, has Harrison Busenal. After last year's injury troubles, he's played, I think, just about every single game. But here's Mashiavecchio over the top, down the right-hand side. Damon Gray's coming into the centre. Big chance for the Wolves, goes begging there, but that's the space they can find. Playing a bit wider and having a few more options forward. Here's Takami. Damon Gray. Mashiavecchio. It's interesting, I don't think we've seen David Carney use a back three at all in his tenure. It's mainly either been that 4-4-2 system or a bit more of a 4-3-3. So demonstrates that something new is needed in these last minutes. Around 5 regular to play. Hasn't been too many stoppages as of yet. So may not be a great big number for the Wolves either in stoppage time. Here's Scott. Scott wriggles his way through fantastically well. And there were just too many challenges for him to beat, and it's rebounded off him for a goal kick. "79 minutes played over with Sydney United and St George City still 0-0. So that result's not going the Wolves' way either. Good header from Ryan. Kanaizumi. Rather McStay and Afuka. Oh, that's a rather rash challenge there from Svilagoy, and that will be a caution. And forward now does come Kanaizumi. Ryan as well. Busnell coming up. Mashiavecchio and Takami look like the two that are going to be left back, or maybe Afuka. And everybody else is up for it. McStay headed away. Mashiavecchio spinning volley, but Manly players are challenging themselves for the header. Damon Gray took a bit of a bobble as he got to it, but it dipped down and almost found its way in. It's been a really solid defensive performance from Manly in this game. Svilagoy, Haganovic in the middle of it. Pires at left back. Kieran Paul at right back, and obviously got the assist as well for Ortiz's second goal. Just demonstrating the quality that they have shown in defence this year, if not in attack. Damon Gray's in though, and it's a crucial stop from Coates. Well, I'm not sure how the chance arrived. There seemed to be two Manly players there, and then popped out with Gray, and looked purely reactionary from Coates just to tip it away. Here's McStay. Busnell gets the header onto the back post. So many Manly bodies back, and Afuka has to win that header, and does. Kanaizumi. Haganovic away. McStay. McStay has a shot with his left foot. And Ortiz. Superb from Ortiz. And here comes Miguel Bowser. Coop running forward, but Bowser keeps going past Kanaizumi and then finds Coop. Oh, and it's still going here with Ortiz. Bowser. Janjetovic has just about gotten to his goal and picked up. It looked potentially like Coop had been knocked over by Kanaizumi, but it wasn't given. They played on. The Wolves survive, and they're already in the other half. Here's Gray. Great, it's rebounded back to him. Haganovic boots it away again. Great win from Busnell under the challenge of Ortiz. McStay. Afuka down the left. Good tackle from Kieran Paul. That right side has been really solid for Manly as well. Coop, Paul. Takami tries a clever ball. Mashiavecchio keeps it in. Scott. Take it on his own and try to whip it in. Pires gets a deflection on it. Well, I think we're about to find out how much stoppage time we will see. Just the 3 minutes for the Wolves to find 2 goals. You'd think their dream of finals this year may be over. Sydney United look set to claim that 6th finals spot. Here's Kan Izumi. Wide for Ryan. Afuka. Damon Gray. That's play on. Alawalia comes away with it. Raking ball out to Caceres. Well defended by Harrison Busnell. Mashivecchio will get a touch on this. Try to go past Pires. Oh, Pires tried a nutmeg. Didn't work. Riak. Scott. Ortiz has gotten away. Janjetovic will play a calm pass. An experienced pass out to Dylan Ryan. Here's Damon Gray. Scott. Just too many players around him. Miguel Bowser through the middle. Ortiz is on. Great interception. That's been important for the Wolves in these last minutes. It's some crucial defensive actions, keeping them in this. Gray. Space to try and produce something. A left-footed shot. Curls it way over. A little over a minute left. Manly will finish their season with a couple of positive wins and well clear of that relegation battle as well. Platform to build on for next year perhaps. Whereas for the Wolves, that momentum, those winning runs that they had at points in this season didn't prove enough. Some key losses, particularly in the last weeks, have put them in a situation where they will narrowly miss out on finals football. Ryan probably took a knock there, but here's Scott. Mashivecchio with the ball in. McStay. Header flashes wide. That's about it. Full time, and Manly have claimed their final points of the year. The Wolves end the season in disappointing fashion with another loss. No finals football again. My name is Tim Gibson. Thanks for tuning in.